Think of your happy place. Picture it. How does it smell? What do you hear? What can you feel? Think of your happy place. My happy place is warmer. Leaving to Ottawa to be sunny one day and suddenly, cold. Just for the vibe. Hello, welcome to the video. So today we're going to talk about Happy Place by Emily Henry and why I love this book. I just want to talk about it. This book drew stars around my scars and now I'm bleeding. So I'm reading romance books to discover the genre. But this book was more than a romance, really. Okay, let's go to a synopsis before I move to a review with no spoilers. And when I reach the part with spoilers, I'll let you know, okay? So don't worry, you won't get spoiled. And I'm going to share here not only why I liked this book, but what kind of person would like, for who I would recommend this book. Okay, so let's start. So we follow the story of Harriet. Harriet is this neurosurgeon doctor. She's not completely done with her studies and she's going through a lot of stress and anxiety, not just because of the hospital, but also because she broke up with who she thought was the love of her life, Win. But then she's putting all her life problems behind because she's going to her happy place, the place where she finds herself at home, where she feels safe. She has her best friends that are the most important people in her life, that truly know her and see her and listen to her. She's going to that place for 1 week, one blast week that she really needs to recover and to tell her friends that her relationship of, I don't know, it was 8 years, it's over. But when Harriet arrives at the house, she finds her ex there, even though they made an arrangement to not meet in that vacation week, but he appeared. And because they don't want to spoil the mood, they need to pretend they are still together because neither of them told the news to their friends, even though they are not together for 3 months, I believe. Why didn't they tell their friends? Why? So they have to face their current situationship because clearly they are not over each other. So we have some feelings there still. And that's the mystery of the book. Why did they break up if they clearly don't seem like they wanted to break up? Harriet can be called a bit of a people pleaser, but in my opinion, she's more of a social anxious person. And her anxiety is towards not giving trouble to people. So she doesn't want to be a bother. She doesn't want to get in people's way. Win's self-esteem is very low. He talks down on himself very often and he doesn't see himself as interesting. And we have this group of friends. What we see is enough for us to understand what type of personality these characters they are representing. Parth is the type of extrovert that adopts introverts, and we all really appreciate that type of person. He seems like a person that is easy to talk to and is very approachable. Sabrina is the bossy friend, and we all know that type of friend that is bossy, but it's out of love. Kim is the type of person that you feel safe and you want to share your life with just in the few minutes that you know her. It's like an instant friendship match with no judgments. And Cleo is the type of person that we want to be. Is the person that respects herself, that knows her limits. She speaks her mind, but if something that is her opinion will actually cause discomfort, she wages down the consequences and makes compromises, but she doesn't lie to herself. So these are the characters that we see, and we don't learn about them in a direct way. We kind of see how they act. We understand them through their actions and their choices. And as we discover these characters and we follow their stories and their choices, their behavior, I think the most impactful thing in this book is that you can picture yourself in the situations, or maybe situations you want to be part of. This book, more than a romance, it invites you to think about what makes you happy. Is the place or the people that you find in that place? What do you need to make yourself happy? Happiness is not a constant thing in life, it's a state. What do you need to reach that happy state, that happy place? Is it a hobby? Is it getting to know more people? Is it a specific place? Is it a condition? Is it how you see yourself? What's your happy place? I think that's the theme of this book, not really the romance. The romance is there, but I don't know. I am not even sure I would recommend this book as a romance, because that wasn't my favorite part of the book. This is a romance book, but the romance must not be the selling point for you. I can see people getting frustrated to look for a romance and going to this and find it very philosophical or maybe too dramatic or depressing. I get it. Those are fair points if you have the romance expectation. I've never read any Emily Henry book, so I'm not sure if this is her writing style all the time, or if this theme and how she approaches it, if it's specific for this book. But in my opinion, this is beautifully written. The tone and the pacing of the book, how we move from past to present to understand our characters, I think it was done in a beautiful way. I really loved it. Way before, I was looking for books about found families and books that made me feel like Barakamon anime. If you never watched the Barakamon anime and you like this book, please give it a try. This book has this feeling. This book has a feeling of found family, of finding happiness and meaning in life. And we see situations in this book that at first we want them to be solved, and then after some time we learn more about the characters and we get confused. We don't know if what we thought was right is right anymore, if that's the best for the characters. So a bit of spoiler about some situations here. I'm not going to go in deep, but to avoid any miscommunications, I'll put the cover of the book as a spoiler warning, and you come back after it's completed, okay? Okay. So in the beginning, we want Harriet and Win to be together again, and as we read the book, the situation that we want, them being together, is what we want, is what they want, but maybe it's not what they need. That made me so sad, and it was such a dreadful situation, because we are seeing real life here. I was starting to think that this was not going to have a happy ending. I was sad about it, but at the same time it was beautiful, because that's real life. Sometimes in life we have the ending of a friendship, of a relationship, of some situation, and it was good until it wasn't anymore. So that was the situation that really got me. And I wasn't sure how the book was going to end anymore. Because if they're not together, what's the alternative? Not being together, right? But how? I want them together. They belong together. It was so good and sad and bad at the same time. I just loved it. I loved it. In the end, we do have the happy ending. Of course, a bit of cliche, the airport scene, but I'll just accept it. Please just be together. I just want that. I just want that. And I can understand how some people may find Harriet's choice not realistic, but I actually identify. Like, okay, end of the spoiler session and the start of my conclusion. Who this book is for? What type of person will like this book? You like this book if you like a slow burn romance or a slow pace book. This is slow pace. If you want a cozy book but not funny, this This is, you have some jokes here, but this is not the vibe of the book. This is more dramatic. You will like this book if you can identify with the protagonist, and that is if you are in a situation that you're looking for your happy place, if you are missing something extra, something special, if you're missing someone, if you're missing a place, a specific place, or a specific time in your life. Kind of depressing, but it's a feeling, it's a vibe. If you're not in the situation that you miss a happy place, actually, no, let me start again. If you are in a situation that you don't even know what I'm talking about, what kind of feeling I'm talking about, good for you. Stay that way. But if you are with the rest of us and you miss something, but you don't know what you miss, you don't know what you want, what you need, this is a book for you. Yes. And if you are looking for your happy place, I really hope you find it. I hope you liked this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!